establishing, our style of play. And, sometimes it's hard to do that against guys that you've been around for a couple times and for a couple years. Like, I hate going against Drake and having to insert block and crack replays, all that stuff against Drake London and Bijan. It's nice to get to go against other guys and see where we stand.
How valuable is this compared to other dates at training camp?
Yeah, I think it's very valuable. I think you can really figure out, who a person is throughout these joint practices. If you can sustain, tough practices and have emotional control over, going against another person. I just think that it's a bunch of valuable work that you can get out of a joint practice that you usually don't get against each other, whether that's 2-minute situations or just seeing the same plays over and over. It's nice to go against another guy.
Value, you mentioned. Your thoughts on how the defense, the ones versus ones for the first time this year, performed?
Yeah, we got a great leader in Brick. He brought us up before the first team and just kind of set the standard. He said, what do we want to show today? Not just for one play, but reload and do it again. And I thought we did a really good job of responding to him today.
What do you like about the way you guys have gotten incrementally better throughout camp on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I just like that, we continue to grow together. We're starting to understand the whole defense. We're starting to understand why are we showing certain pressures, make certain pressures look like man-to-man or whatever it is. I think we're starting to get a whole feel for how Brick's going to call the defense and what are we going to be good at.
You kind of warned us about DeMarco Helms and said that he was kind of waiting to get unleashed. What did you think about him in the preseason game?
Yeah, I was very proud of him. All the stuff even after, I was super proud of him. I mean, there's a lot of built-up stuff that I'm sure that he was going through that whole year. I mean, last year he was on a cart, getting cart off the field, and for him to come out there and perform the way he did, I was just very happy for him. And, as a brother, as a teammate, I was just very excited to watch him play. And now the challenge is, can he do it again?
What's your assessment of Cam Ward?
Yeah, we got a little chatty back there. I think that he's a hell of a competitor. And from the outside looking in, I just love the way his mindset is, the way he's going about his work, and just very humble. Obviously, as a safety, as a quarterback, we're going to talk a little stuff, when we're playing against each other. But it's cool to see a young man like that come in with the #1 pick, with a humble mindset, and perform the way he's doing.
Care to share who initiated that talk?
The D-line always starts it, and then safety's like, I got to get in it too. That's just how it goes.
What have you seen from Xavier just to this point in camp, from where he began and to where he is now?
Yeah, I think he's starting to get comfortable. He's starting to actually talk to us, in the meeting rooms and stuff. And he's just starting to understand the defense, I think things are starting to slow down for him. Sometimes as a rookie, you just kind of second guess yourself, like, do I got it? Do I got it? And I think he's really starting to understand what we're trying to do here.
Jesse, you said that Brick brought you guys together before practice to set the culture of this team. What exactly does he want you guys to do? What is this culture of this team? Yeah,
it was nothing, nothing extravagant that he hasn't said before. He talks about our heart, our connection with one another, our mind, understanding what are we trying to do. And then the fifth part, I think the fifth part, that's what he was talking about today, was who's going to pop off the tape? Who can we talk about in our meeting rooms? Who's going to set the tone for this defense? And I think last week was, a showcase of what we're trying to build, and then with the ones actually playing out here today is cool to see us set the standard.
So in your assessment, who will pop off the tape? Who's the one guy today that balled?
I think our group did a really good job, honestly. The entire group, from the guys up front, I don't think they ran the ball very well today. So it starts with those guys up front. We understand that, and then on the back end, we got to be able to lock guys down as well. So it works hand in hand.
What happened on your interception there? It looked like Xavier had a better line, but you got to it before he did.
Yeah, I think I had a little vet moment there. But yeah, AJ made a hell of a play. We were in a one-robber defense, and AJ I think we got a quick game, started short, and AJ tipped it up, and thank God me and X didn't collide. So, yeah.
What does a good day like this, just good practice against another team do for the defense and just the team in general?
Yeah, it lets you know, it reassures that we're doing the right stuff. Like I said before, it's easy to go against the same looks and going against the same guys and stuff like that. But when you get different looks from a different offense that, we're not scheming up practice or anything like that, it really starts to get that belief capacity within one another.
Just we talked about, you and Penix having their lockers next to each other last year. Just wondering, just from your perspective, how much pride did you take in kind of helping him out, taking him under your wing a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm taking him under my wing. I think Mike he's flying by himself right now. He's doing a hell of a job of walking into that quarterback one position. But we both understand we're both leaders on this team, and we got to make sure that we're showing up every single day and not just getting the guys going by our words, but by our actions every single day as well. So me and Mike are very similar people, got similar personalities, and I think we're two great leaders for this team.
Are you seeing some of those conversations maybe manifest themselves now, in year 2 for him?
Yeah, those conversations continue to elevate every day. We continue to build our relationship with one another and have those same conversations, like I said from before, but I think it's a little bit more, intimate. I know a little bit more about him. He knows a little bit more about me, and that's just how you do it. You just got to do it day by day, and we always go against each other. But now it's good. I can talk to him about, what are the Titans doing? How are we looking on that side? And he's always got a great answer for me. So yeah.
Your safety room, is there a moment where you start to realize, okay, it is clicking for everyone and stuff is slowing down?
Yeah. I think when you turn on the tape and you see that standard stay the same, whether that's group 1, group 2, group 3, and we're executing on the same level, I think that's when you can really evaluate, all right, we got a pretty smart down. We got everybody on the same page, and I think we take pride in that as a safety group.
And you started to really notice that, I'm assuming, after Friday?
Yeah. You turn on the tape, you got a pretty good safety group, top to bottom.
Steven trying to get you a full do-rag? You got half do-rag.
Yeah. Yeah, we're working on that. I gotta get we're getting on the deal. We gotta get a deal.
That's fine.
Drake London is said to have this alter ego when he's on the field, very competitive, even against his own teammates. Do you sense that at all when you're out there with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you step on the field, I always tell myself as well, I'm not the same Jessie Bates. When I step on that field, I'm JB3. There's an alter ego that you gotta have if you want to be great in this game. And I think Drake, he's the true definition of Drake London, and then there's a whole another Drake London on the field. So that's how you got to be in this game of football that we play.
And what's your relationship with him off the field? How's the persona like?
Yeah, Drake is very, very quiet. I've talked to him, always call him Drizzy Drake. We continue to build our relationship for 3 years now, and to watch him grow into the receivers that he is now, I can only imagine what he's going to do for year 3.
What's the difference between Jessie Bates and JB3?
Yeah, Jessie Bates is a father. I got, nephews, nieces, I'm an uncle. And then it's when I get on that field, it's it's me versus everybody, along with my teammates, obviously. But there's just a switch, I think, that flips when you get on that field, and that's how it's got to be.
Hey, Jesse, obviously the team invested in edge rushers to rookies. Anything about Walker and Pierce that stood out to you?
Yeah, I think both of them. I think they understand how important it's going to be for those guys to come in and contribute early. Those guys are top picks for a reason. And we turn on a film, it looks like they're first-round draft picks, and now they just got to continue to show that every single day.
Do you feel like Friday went? Really getting some significant reps, with the guys that obviously you'll be rotating in with during the season as well?
Yeah, I felt like it was a great first test for us to see, just how the rotation is going to work out and just to see what we're going to bring to the table. Got a lot to see the young guys go. It's fun to watch Jalen and the JPJ out there. So, got some reps with them out there to see how they rush and get the feeling with that. And, I feel like it's going to be an exciting season with them.
What do you think those two guys do well?
Oh, man, they're explosive and fast. They're explosive and fast. Sometimes too fast for me in the inside. But, it's so fun playing with them because, with JPJ, he's very fast, and with Jalen, the way he could bend is ridiculous. So the coaches do a great job scheming plays, for them too. And when I'm in there working with them, it's very fun. I like to work with both of them. I feel like I could learn some stuff from them. They learn some stuff from me. Move Jalen inside sometimes, and it's very fun. Just dicing it up a little bit.
I know you were talking about the energy at joint practice, but what do you hope to get out of something like this aside from just playing somebody else?
Oh yeah, joint practices, you see who your guys are, instead of practice, you go against the same person every day. If you could do what you're doing in practice to somebody else, that's how you show you're a real guy. And these are the real tests, these guys don't care about you. There's people out here from other teams trying to earn a job, and every day there's money on the floor, in my opinion. So you can't come out here and lose your money.
Yesterday, Coach Ali showed us the very bottom of your wrist thing, GTFO. You ever find yourself looking at that on the field, just to remember, this is what we got to do?
I'm in a 4-point stance, so when I get down in my 4-point stance, I always see that number 8 and it says GTFO. So that's always the last thing. That's I'm always on that. I don't think I think about anything else besides GTFO and dark room with him.
Did last Friday feel any different? Just you're in year 2, obviously, and then this year. Renewed expectations and just moving into the second year. But did it feel any different in the preseason game?
Different? No, not really. It's just, like I said, it's just football again. But the comfortability I felt out there, I felt very comfortable with this scheme. I felt more, I could just take my thinking cap on and just let my football reactions take over. And that's what I love to do, just react on the field and not just think too much and just go forward and attack. And, we did a great job. And, just getting a feeling with the substitutions. Coach Ali always say you're not going to go more than 4 plays. 4 plays and he's going to get you out of there. So, we know that in the back of our head that we're going to do our hardest for 4 plays. And, I just felt very good out there.
Do you feel like you're at your best when you're in this sort of situations where you can just react and get in there?
Oh, yeah. When you get so many reps of doing this over and over and over again, the game is just like practice. You're just reacting out there. And the coaches make it really hard in practice for us, so it's easy in the game. And I feel like I got there, everything was moving in slow motion.
How much more valuable was this experience today than the rest of training camp?
Oh, this is very valuable because, you get different type of sets from the O-line, With this O-line, we got really some good O-line on our team. But, just to see how other teams block, just to see how our scheme works up against, Tennessee. They do a great job with the traps, wearing a lot of gap schemes. And, they do a great job in O-line, how they just change a lot of things. And with Cam Moore, the new offense. And it's very fun to see how it's going to work out. And I've had a fun time today.
Brandon, how important is it for when Nate Ollie is preaching to you guys about finishing your rush and continue to go on and not start looking – basically anticipating them throwing the football or getting the ball out? How important is that to you, and how much does he emphasize that?
Oh, yeah, you can't have no $1 million move with a 10-cent finish, 10-cent finish, he said it's bad. You don't want to see that on film. Nobody cares about the $10, that move you do. You got to have the great finish, Everything he does, every single rep is a finish, track check, just get-offs, and just, I swear, everything in individuals he's telling us to finish. There's going to be a mic'd up video of Ali come out soon. You're going to hear him screaming finish all day. It gets annoying sometimes, but, you need that from a D-line coach, just constant energy, because, you're going to have your moments in practice where you fall off, but Nate right behind you, let's go, finish, GTFO, dark room, and it's every day, and I love that.
And how good does it feel to be able to benefit from that annoying reassurance, right?
Oh, like today, I definitely needed today. I came out, just not feeling my best, but I got Nate Ali to back me right now. That's why I love him.
I know you said that it's annoying, but when you hear his voice on the sideline, what's the initial thought that pops into your head when you're on the line?
I better get off this ball. Because he will play that and film very slow, and we'll watch it, and we'll see who the last one is. If you're the last one on the ball, you sleep, you're texting at the light, and you don't want to be texting at the light.
Camp been like for you this year?
Camp been fun. I've been enjoying it. It's been a great time out there competing. I'm in a great room. It's loaded with talent, so that only breeds competition, and then that also breeds the best out of everyone. And so it's honestly pulling the best out of me that I probably have seen and felt in camp. And so I'm just excited every day. I take every day one day at a time, and I don't really try to look so much at the outcome of, I need to make this team, but just hey, I'll take it one day, one play, one rep, I'll be fine.
What about Jeff Ulbricht's defense fits your style of play?
It just allows you to get off the ball and just really tee off on your opponent. And this is very similar to a defense I played in Indianapolis. So for me, it really wasn't too much of a change. I've already been in it for a year before. And so it was coming from Indy, then Chicago, I had to switch back to kind of that traditional way of football. And then last year when here was a little bit more traditional. And then when Britt came here, it's okay, I can shift back to my training before. So it was pretty easy for me, I would say.
Were you in Indy the same time as Nate Ollie?
Yep, he was my coach.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's where the dots are tying.
Yep.
What's it like being able to reunite with him here and still see that same energy toward attack style?
It's good having that familiar face, just knowing you got somebody got your back, and has seen the progress that I've made. Like I've talked to Nate, he's like, hey man, like I want to let you know, like you're really rushing well, like you're taking a huge leap. He's like, even from when I was in Indy, like I played pretty well when I was in Indy, but he's like, you're really taking a leap in your game, and so I like it's good to have that.
When you had a great game out there on Friday, what were your thoughts on how you played?
I had a lot of fun. Glad that me and Stick got to connect like we did, but yeah, just excited for this week and playing the Titans.
A lot of connections, between you and he. What did you make of his performance out there?
Oh, dude, Stick played amazing. It was really fun to watch him get out there and spin it. Stick and I had some good work in the OTAs, and it was cool to see that happen on the field.
Is this your second or third training camp?
This is my third training camp.
Third. So how do you feel year one, year three, kind of where your game has progressed? Is it more the consistency of the details, or do you feel like you made some strides in specific areas?
I wouldn't say anything specific. I feel great, body feels good. And just having a couple training camps and games under my belt just feels like the game slowed down quite a bit, and I'm able to go out there and see a little more and focus more on what the defense is doing instead of what I have to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. After kind of a strong start to the first preseason game, what do you feel you need to do over these next two to really kind of compete for a spot?
Just keep on track, keep doing what I'm doing. I can only control what I can control, so if the ball doesn't come to me, that's that. And if it does, then I'll try to do what I did last Friday.
Does the offense feel any different this year, tailored to kind of Mike East and those types of passers than it maybe did last year?
I wouldn't say different. I think our offensive plan and last year and this year is really good. And Z-Rob's done a great job controlling this offense. And regardless of who's behind center, I think our offense can be really explosive and do a really good job.
I think the part that's really cool, especially the way that we go about our process, is like you get to see some of those guys that aren't playing in the preseason, being able to see them go against a different colored jersey. So you see a little bit different preparation and mental focus as you get ready for these joint practices. So it was awesome.
How tough is it knowing Carlos Washington is hurt when he had been having such a good camp and vying for that third spot?
Yeah, I think the thing that focusing on Los, it's like, all right, well, what can he do right now? You know what I mean? And I think the most important thing is he's staying engaged in everything. He's at meetings, continuing to be a great teammate and all those things. And so, like I said, it's unfortunate, but again, it is what it is. It's unfortunately part of the game.
How do you keep his spirits high in a sense that he knows the reality of the situation where this is training camp, there will be a cut down day, et cetera, et cetera?
Can't worry about the hypotheticals. I think you worry about today and make sure you take advantage of the day, and he's doing a great job of doing that.
Who have you seen kind of already step up in the preseason game and also in today's scrimmage?
Yeah, no, I think particularly in our room, right, you got Jay-Sean Corbin, Nate Carter, right, and Elijah Dotson. I think all of them are showing different signs and flashes of things they can do. It's ultimately see who can be the most complete guy on all three downs, and be able to show the pass protection things, be able to show consistency in the run game. And so ultimately, like I said, it's a long training camp, but being able to get some good work against the Titans, this is going to be another evaluation tool for us.
What was the intensity level like, would you say, today?
I think it was good, and I expect it to probably be a little bit more tomorrow because you'll go and you'll watch the film, get a good feel for kind of what they're doing. They'll get a feel for what we're doing, and these guys are competitors by nature, so I expect it to be a little bit more competitive tomorrow, but it was great competition today.
Go ahead. How do you see Tyler fitting in the passing game as a target?
No, I think Ty quietly is a guy that helps us a lot in the pass game, not even just from catching the ball, but he's really, really good in pass protection. And so, right, teams assume, okay, he's in the game, it's just for pass protection, but then there's also other things that he can do in terms of being able to win one-on-one routes versus linebackers, his screen game, which he's done that all throughout his career since he's been here. And so there's a lot of ways that we can continue to get him involved, and we are doing it, along with the other guys as well.
Bijan is able to establish himself as one of the top backs in the league in a really short amount of time. What do you think, or what is that next step that you'd like him to take?
Consistency. Can we do the little things consistently? Can we continue to focus on the details that are going to allow us to be great down in and down out? Understanding there's natural ebbs and flows throughout a game, but can we focus on those little things that could be our slight edge?
In what ways have you maybe seen him embrace that, like the minute details to take that next step?
Probably a lot of things that people don't see, but just some little things in terms of his pass game, with some of his releases and his footwork and his releases, some of the deep ball stuff and working on some things there that's going to allow him to be more efficient, hand placement and pass protection, decisiveness, eye discipline within the run game. So there's always going to be things that we're working on. And it's something that him and I talk about a lot because, again, the goals that he has for himself and the goals that we have collectively as a room are pretty high standards, right? And so because of that, we're going to point out all the little things and all the details so we can continue to chase something.